Publishers of How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, As I See It, Class Warfare, The Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis.
Welcome to Politics.
Welcome to Politics.
My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. And of course, good morning to the United States of America. Good morning to the entire world receiving our signals via the magic of El Internet, formerly known as the ARPANET. Created by whom? Created by we the people, now by 2 darn billion. It's something that we will ultimately mitigate. Anyhow, without further ado, move it on to El Estudio, where our geniuses reside with El Senor. Let's see how I'm going to do it this time. El Senor Jack Van Weber and Howard Reynolds. Did I get that right, guys? Okay, for some reason, I don't hear either one of them, but what I will do is continue going right now. Anyway, folks, we are going to have a great show for you today. As soon as we get, I guess, back connected to the studio, we will be back talking to the one and only Jack Van Weber and Howard Reynolds. Anyway, we got a great show in store for you. Look, folks, today's Thursday. And when it's Thursday, what does it mean? It means it is Neil Aquino Day. Neil Aquino is in the house. How you doing, Neil? Oh, well, I don't hear
Do
Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. And I'm hearing an echo. Good morning. We're here. We're good. No, sounding good too now. And we are having a great day. Anyway, and I'm still hearing the echo. We're off to a bit of a technical start, but I am
Oh, no
here.
problem. Let me see if I can figure out why you're getting an echo, but I don't see that you should be getting an echo. But I'll wait till. Yeah, but go ahead.
Audience
See if
wants
you
to
can.
know what in the world is the story here.
Yeah, what is the story? Yeah, you have to disregard the. Tell me what we're going to talk about today.
All right. Well, we're going to start with a little more global than we
Yeah.
usually do here. Prince Andrew was arrested. The former Prince Andrew, they call him, was arrested over the Epstein ties, according to the BBC. And the former President Yoon, Y-O-O-N, of South Korea, was sentenced to life in jail for his role in declaring martial law in December of 2024, I think it was. And I cite that all the time because people stormed onto the streets and undid the martial law. So the point I'm making here is that it can be done. You correctly pointed out to me that the former president Bolsonaro is in jail in Brazil for his role in attempting a January 6th type coup. But just as a reminder, and I know we all know it's true in our hearts, but here's some evidence for factual evidence that these people can be held to account for the Epstein files, for trying to overthrow democracy. It doesn't have to be that we pardon our January 6th people, elevate the thugs, put them in the Justice Department, elect them back to the White House. And it really makes you just, if Merrick Garland and Biden, they should have had the courage to go after these folks right the minute. And I hope that when we regain power, that there is justice done right away. So
You know,
Prince Andrew
we also
arrested.
mentioned. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Neil. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, you know what is interesting, Neil, is look, I don't want to take anything off of Donald Trump is all over those files. Above and beyond being all over those files, Donald Trump is shows that there is likely something else that we are not talking about there. There's a likelihood there's something else we're not talking about. But that said, what the heck? Or should I say, why is it that we're not getting any of that? Seems like you've disappeared for a minute, Neil. Let me see if I can somehow get you back in, but I see that you have disappeared. What every now and then we get into these issues over the line that we don't quite understand what's going on. But
Am I?
before the
I'm
show,
audible. Is that
y-
correct though?
yes, yeah, I
Okay,
can
great.
hear you. Now I need to be able to find you.
Right,
But we
right,
are
right.
working we're working on that because I see no picture right now. Let me make sure that the studio is hearing you. Let's go ahead and continue your statement, Neil.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Um,
Are you still
it can
hearing
be
that
done.
echo?
That's all I'm saying. That it doesn't have to be that these people are unaccountable, that they get away with it. And let's just use this as encouragement, and let's hope when we regain power that that there's justice done right off, that just right away, and we don't let these people sit and gain power for 4 years, and be able to come back and do such harm.
Yeah, we got to make sure about that. Your picture is not on the screen, so I mean, I'm going to wait to see what it is that's going on. But uh, I guess Substack and everything has the rest going. Let me give some welcome to our great people that are here thus far. Lisa Blair from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. Sorry for the few technical problems that we're having right now. Bobby K says, "Good morning from my shower, getting ready for work." I am honored. He's taking a shower while he's listening to the show. Marnie is here. He says, "You both sound good on Substack," which means we are transmitting just fine, Neil. We also have Fella Blue at 60. Thank you for being here. Cindy, ¿cómo estás? Do you lie? How you doing, my brother? Manny says good morning to Bobby K. And we have as well, there you are again, Neil.
Great.
Jane B in North Carolina says, so these other countries with attempted coups go to prison and the U.S. pays them billions and let them destroy democracy. We also have LBW, La Profesora is in the house. We can't do it without people like LBW, Lauren, and we are gonna have ourselves some great coffee. Cheryl Elkins is in the house from Massachusetts, one of our wonderful activists out there. Marnie says they should be called the Trump Files, featuring Jeffrey Epstein. You guys are like the best and funny. LVW says also, I'm not getting notifications when you go live from Substack. Today I did get notification of your post. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am going to report that to Substack because that has really have an impact on those that are here. But anyhow, I think the studio may be connected again. So what I'm going to do is say, welcome aboard, El Senor Jack Van Bever, Howard Reynolds, and I think Sandy is hiding somewhere back there with his first coffee. Is that correct?
I am. I got that great coffee at Grotto.
All right. Anyway, how you doing, Sandy?
A bit hard of hearing.
Yeah, well, talk to me, my man.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. We start week number 2.
Oh, we must be having some interesting kind of technical problems because Uh, we get him connected for a little bit, Sandy, and then he disappears. So I am going to wait for that to occur. Hey, guys, when you have a very small staff, because we are good stewards of your money, this kind of things happen. So at least we still have Neil Aquino. Hey, Sandy, as soon as you are back
For
on,
all the thank you gifts.
there
I
you
want
go.
to thank everybody that has donated to this drive so far. This is General Manager Sandy Weinman. So far, 491 donations have come in toward this drive. We expect about 1,000 in total before the drive ends. Somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100 is typical. And we have raised $974 so far in the space of 1 week. And as I said, we're starting week 2 from the go line right now. We're looking for the first pledge of this Wednesday morning. We're looking for the first pledge for Politics Done Right. Again, the goal being $500. If we look into the future a little bit, do we really expect that media, commercial media, is going to get any better, or will it continue its circular vortex path down the pipe? We're not sure. We don't know. But one thing is, KPFT is still here after 55 years and 50 weeks and now 4 days. We're going to be 56 March 1st. And still going strong and still without commercials. And although commercial media is changing, even the way they throw their sponsors at you, playing a commercial 2 or 3 times in a row until you just want to jump off the reclining chair that you're on and throw yourself on the floor and cry in a tantrum. I understand. We get it too in our household. But KPFT remains commercial free. Maybe that's why you listen to this station. I don't know. But we need your assistance to keep it here commercial free. This morning, you can call 713-526-5738, hit option 1, and talk to someone about making a donation to KPFT. If it's all too much at 6:11 in the morning, well, you could always go to kpft.org or use your app and pledge securely online. And again, on our website, kpft.org, you'll see all the thank you gifts, including 2 special gifts this time around. One is a boat ride with Nuri Nuri, the Blues Cruise 2 on April 18th. This is a 3-hour ride on Clear Lake. It's a pontoon boat. We put about 75 people on this boat. This will be the 3rd or I guess the 4th time we've gone out for a sail. We have drink, we have food, we have a good time, and we have you on board if you pledge for those tickets for that cruise. It's $150 for a single ticket or $275 for a pair. Remember that, $275 for a pair. We also have a crawfish boil. That's going to be on Sunday, March 29th, right at the end of March. This will be celebrating our 56th birthday. $75 ticket or a pair for $130. Now, if I put both of those together, that's a $405 contribution. However, you can get both of those events as a thank you gift for $1 a day pledge. $365 pledge will give you passes for both events, and you'll have 2 great items to put on your social calendar with like-minded people, and at the same time, support community media. Again, no commercials, very little in the way of underwriting, and even less in the way of grant money. Over 95% of our funds come from you, the listener. They come during these fund drives, and here we are in the middle of a fund drive, the winter marathon for 2026. We think back to 1970. This has gone on a long time, just like this, to get it to this point. So you folks out there, if you have a few dollars to throw our way, maybe $5 a month or $10 a month, join us as a sustainer. If enough people join us as a sustainer, one day we're going to go on to a fund drive and it'll be over as soon as it begins. This time around, we got a $39,000 head start thanks to our sustainers. Now, if I think back to 3 years ago, that $39,000 number is up from something like, maybe like 3 or 4,000. Back then is what we would have achieved. So our program to gather up people that are willing to sustain us monthly is having an effect, and it would have even a greater effect if you have not joined and you do so. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Let's all get together as a community, and let's support this community station. It's here now. We want it to be here tomorrow. The people that run the station, myself included, the people behind the mic might be different, but KPFT will continue, and the concept of free speech will continue. And I think, of all things, that's the most important, that we keep the right to free speech on the airwaves, driven by the community, talking about the community, and not have commercial sponsors dictate what we hear and what we see, or even worse, some authoritarian government doing so. We can't stand that. We won't stand for that. And you can show your act of kindness, your act of action to preserve KPFT, again, by dialing 713-526-5738, option 1, or mouse it over to kpft.org and click the donate button. How are we doing in the studio there, guys? Are we connecting the strings and the tin cans successfully?
Yes, sir. The tin cans and string are now working. I had to
All
restart
right.
Zoom on Egberto's side, and I see that it's feeding
There's
to
always
him now.
something. It's always something. And thank goodness for Howard, because without Howard, we would hear zero. Thank you, Howard, for taking care of that. Egberto, are you with
Yeah,
us?
thank you for that, Sandy. Let me just say, in the mornings I always like to have my first cup of Jack. So I know Jack, you've been fumbling around in there making sure that we get this stuff on air with Howard. But is there anything you would like to say to that we hadn't heard from you yet?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be right back. He's got his material ready to go. So come on over here, Jack, and get this. Tell us what's going on.
Come on in, Jack.
All right.
By the way,
All right.
before you
Well,
say
I touched my
to the
phone.
audience, hold on. Before you start, I want to tell the audience that we have two people with Mini Coopers in that studio. Jack is one of them, and Jack sent me over some pictures over with these Mini Coopers doing some. Hey, Jack, you need to stop reading the Epstein. Okay, all right, move on, Jack. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was the Epstein moment, I guess.
Go
It was
ahead.
funny because I was setting up these pictures because, me and Marlo are responsible mini owners and we wanted to keep them apart. So, but we caught them in the act. And so I was setting up the pictures to catch them at. And Marlo was watching us from the surveillance video from the studio, laughing in the studio. So it was kind of a comical thing. So one of
Audience
them
is
having a
funny,
little
but
fun at the studio. Yeah.
if I were more prepared, I'd put some of those pictures on the screen, but I don't want to right now because Jack needs to get talking
Well,
and we need to get moving. Move on, Jack. Let's go for
okay.
it, brother.
Here we go. Here we go. Today's program confronts a pattern that should alarm every American who values democratic accountability. As Donald Trump signals an aggressive posture towards Iran without meaningful congressional debate, and the Houston Democracy Project founder Neil Aquino discusses grassroots organizers in Texas pushing back against ICE expansion, and federal officials escalate claims about non-citizen voting despite its rarity. War abroad, enforcement at home, and election machinery under scrutiny form a single narrative about power and who exercises it. And I'm going to forego
Absolutely,
my
sir.
little deal.
No problem. We'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, I am so sorry, Mr. David Page Yeh, that you consider what Brother Sandy just did a long advertising. Let me just say, I hate doing Fund Drive, but it's the only thing that allows us to have again non-commercial radio on. So if you have the ability to do so as well, please consider donating Brother David Page, who wrote the statement. Ugh, this long advertising is too much. Muted. Look, I hate doing this, but that's the only way public radio survives. We do it. Those of us behind the scene here, most of us that you're hearing, we do it for free as a public service. Cheryl Elkins says, all eyes on Texas for your primary. We are cheering for you. We know that you are, Cheryl. We know that you're. Cal Gush, welcome aboard. Astadian, Lynette, as usual, keeping that chat room going great. That is what community is all about, sis. I appreciate all that what you all do in there. Stuart Cohen, Michael Rushlis, all of you are very much and well appreciated. LBW, muchas gracias por todo lo que hace. Thank you so kindly for all that you do, not just around here at KPFT for Politics Done Right and the community, but that is what it's all about. Today we are going to be out there with the Kingwood, not indivisible, on the corner as they do their civic duty. All of us are working together to make a better country. Neil, I'm coming back to you. What else do we have to tell our great audience here?
I want to highlight I've lost the picture. Excuse me. I want to highlight an action coming up a week from Saturday on February 28th. Join us to protest inhumane conditions at the Corley Detention Center, that's not far, and other ICE camps in Texas. And this is a bridge banner drop at North Loop 336 and I-45 in Conroe. North Loop 336 and I-45 in Conroe, 11 to 1 on Saturday. And the reason there's so many more actions, there are consistent actions now all the time. And the school walkouts have been great. And they seem to have slowed down the last couple days, but there have been 2 weeks of walking out of school. The kids have been threatened by Governor Abbott, by their administrators in cases. And this event is being promoted by We Rise Up, which is a group of activists in Conroe and across Montgomery County. And there's a great protest scene in Montgomery County, and also by the Cypress Tomball Democrats. So you have just routine Democratic clubs normally engaged in electoral politics. I got a call from the president of a Democratic club. This person's been a president of a Democratic club in Harris County for years. I've known him sort of a bit for years. And he calls me and says his membership wants to begin a weekly or bi-weekly protest. And he asked me some questions about doing this. There are more and more people taking to the streets, and there's always someone who's got to tell you, but we got to vote. They're all voting, okay? Everybody's voting. At least who's doing these actions. I talked to these Montgomery County organizers recently. These are great folks. These are the folks who in Conroe, I think it was last October when the city council tried to make it difficult to protest, fought that back. They wanted to install some fees and some
I remember
limits.
that. I think you went out. You went out there.
I haven't, but I do.
Oh no,
actually,
Richard was out there. Richard was out there.
Richard, a regular caller, and I do hope to go to this event. They've protested near the Corley Detention Center, which I think is in Conroe. Excuse me if it's not. And but someplace there's not a big sidewalk, and it's logistically difficult. But this is Saturday, February 28th, 11 to 1, at the North Loop 336 bridge at I-45 Conroe, and I'll mention it next week too. But I wanted to highlight it because there's a great protest scene in Conroe in Montgomery County. We Rise Up. You can find them on Facebook. The Cypress Tomball Democrats. So they're working with mainstream Democratic clubs. And as I say all the time, the next action is when you organize it. The First Amendment is your permit, and the only credential needed is your presence.
I find that fascinating, especially happening in Montgomery. It seems like we have a call. Michael, come on in, Michael. How you doing?
Oh, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I was really interested in hearing. I forget your guest on Thursday's name, but I want to hear him. This whole Tallarico thing. I'm a strong supporter of him. I like this young man, and I think he'll be a fine senator from Texas one day. And but I'm just kind of disturbed at the way how Ms. Crockett has been responding to this Today Night Show or something like that. And I find it disparaging. It seems like she's losing her balance or her run. I mean, I have nothing against her. You know, I like the way she speaks, but she's losing it, and I don't know if she can recover. And I just want to hear what your guest has to say about that. Thank you.
Neil?
Thank you for the call. I am so deadly tired of the Tallarico Crockett race. I know I basically have stayed out of it in part because one of those candidates will be gone come March 3rd. And I'm glad we have two strong candidates. I have no idea who's the stronger. They both make different arguments. Tallarico says he can win over Republicans. Crockett says she can increase turnout amongst black voters and be strong with women voters. I don't know what the right argument is. I don't have the knowledge to know. So um,
Okay, that's
this
fair. That's
race
fair enough.
sucks the energy out of so much. People keep arguing it, and I appreciate the caller. I don't have strong feelings on the Stephen Colbert thing. I will just say that, in my view, organizing done around elected officials does not strengthen community. It's essential that we vote. We talk about the primary. We'll talk about some more primary issues here today. But I will be glad when it's over. And there are endless Facebook chats, and there are disputes among influencers on and I don't even get into it, because
What
it
I
just
try
it,
to tell them, Neil,
Mhm.
is that
yeah.
I, I, I try to say one thing about this race, right? You notice as well. I have ideas. I'm supposed to be interviewing her sometime in the next day or two. But
Okay, good.
I got Tallarico a couple weeks ago, and a few weeks ago I spoke to Tallarico. Um, what I don't want people to do, specifically Democrats and progressive, and you can tell me how you feel about this, Michael, but I don't want there to be this animosity when you have
Yeah.
two good candidates, because ultimately one of them have to run. And what I see right now is a bit too much negativity. I told the audience a couple of days ago, voting for Tallarico is just fine. It doesn't, I mean, a lot of people who I know that vote for that want Tallarico say, "Oh, I don't want to say this too loud because people are going to say I'm racist." I'm like, no, you just like Tallarico, and the same applies for Crockett. If you like Crockett and you think her modal is going to work, then that's it too. What are your thoughts other than what you've added so far, Michael?
My thought
Oh, I
is
think
this:
Michael must.
we're going to lose unity when it
Yes.
comes down in here. Hello, we're going to lose
Yeah. Go
unity in
ahead.
November 6th. We're not going to be united. Okay, we're not going to be united November 6th. And that's my biggest fear. If Miss Crockett keeps the way she's going, Tallarico is going to, he's not going to get the black vote like he should. And that's my biggest fear. So I just hope they tone it down and unite for this, for this mission, you know? So thank you for taking my call, and y'all have a great day.
Thank you,
Well,
Michael. All right, look,
let me
folks, we are
let me just
still.
say, and
Go ahead.
then I want to make a quick pitch for the pledge drive too. I just
Yeah.
Miss Crockett's supporters probably are not interested in hearing a suggestion that she tone it down. Is my guess. And I do hope that everyone can just um, we can work this out and move forward. And I want to make a pitch for the pledge drive. We've made our pledge numbers just about every Thursday that I've been on. This is my fourth or fifth, or maybe sixth pledge drive. Egberto is just the person off the air that he represents himself on the air. Works very hard to make this show right, good, is kind to everyone, is kind off the air in referencing people. A lot of work goes on. It is an effort to get a guest every, and keep it moving, find the material. It's a lot of work. Independent media has never been more important. I'm here on Thursday mornings to discuss local Houston related politics. It's a grassroots view. It's even more. We like the NPR stations and all that, but it's an even more grassroots view sometimes than you get there. And so please support, contribute to politics done right this morning. And I want to keep my streak going of making our numbers every morning I'm on.
Yes, let's please keep Brother Aquinas' streak going. We are at zero right now, and I know there are good people on well, everybody, all of you are good people, but you know what I'm saying. I know there are many of you who right now could easily say, I will become a sustainer at $5 a month, or I'll become a sustainer at $10 a month. I am personally a sustainer at $10 a month. I work with many other groups, 501c3s and activist groups as well. So I am a multiple donor around. I'm just saying that because there's some who would say, well, I give XYZ at one place and not at the other. My dear brother Patrick, thank you for getting another one of those tickets. You are the first donor, a ticket for the crab boil at $75. Thank you,
Great.
Patrick, for starting us off wonderfully. Now,
Thank you.
folks, we're just 425 away. 425 away. Now, yesterday, another chatter out there, one our beautiful teacher got the coffee with Egberto. That is $250. Remember, none of this comes to me. None of it goes to Neil. It all goes to the station for us to have this station working as it should, especially in these times. And the promise that I've made, again, the promise that I've made is to come to you honestly, truthfully. And again, mistakes will be made. But when the difference here, mistakes are made, I guarantee you, I will come to you eye to eye, ojo a ojo, let you know, hey, screwed up on that one, but here's the reality. So please, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate, or go to kpft.org, kpft.org, hit that donate button, give whatever you can. We're really looking for sustainers. $5 a month, $10 a month, 15 a month, 20 a month, whatever you can do. Think about it. You are making a difference. And for, think about what you're doing, including for those who are haven't given or who can't give. You are subsidizing to ensure that we can put a lot of this stuff out. It's not only this program on KPFT that we do here at Politics Done Right. It's all the other stuff that coalesces into keeping the space with a lot of that info out there. I'm going to throw it to Sandy in about 30 seconds. Let him get the coffee out of his face and come on in a little bit. Now, folks, but we can't do it without you. Frank, I'm going to come to you right after Sandy, but we need to get a few dollars into the program so that this guy that's going to come on in a minute don't kick the damn show off. All right, Sandy.
Nobody's kicking you off, Egberto, except for Patrick, who got the fundraising for this morning kicked off. Thank you for that, Patrick. It's always good to see that first pledge. We are still $425 short. Remember, folks, these fund drives are just critical to our existence. Every time we start one, we don't know. But coming out the other side of these, if they're successful, great. We just keep trundling down the highway, bringing you KPFT. And when they're not, I've seen over time where parts and pieces fall off, and due to not being able to pay for those parts and pieces, in the past it was paid programming that we had, which is all gone now. I don't think we're paying for much. ASCAP BMI, of course, for music and streaming rights as well. But in terms of paid programming, at this point, we're really down to volunteers, which is great, instead of things like we used to have. That happened in the past when we didn't have enough money coming in. Management made the decision at that time, the manager at that time, to forego programming like BBC and keep paying people at the station. I don't know if that was the right decision, but it's where we are. We can't afford now to fall short because the parts and pieces falling off are things like not paying the power bill, not paying the taxes to the city. Yeah, taxes. Even though we're a 501c3 in this state, they have a mandate that you have to check certain boxes to be eligible. And unfortunately, we're not receiving CPB money, which is one of those boxes. In fact, nobody is. So no nonprofit station theoretically in Houston can escape taxes. So we pay those as well. We have a lot of bills is the bottom line. We need your help to pay those. We're going to gather the money up during this fund drive. Please call 713-526-5738. Hit option 1 or go to kpft.org and click donate. The $5 or $10 a month pledge screams loudly that you are down with KPFT and points to a brighter future. Consider it, folks. Back to you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. And look, I want to stress with what Cheryl and LBW are speaking about in the chat. We don't need animosity among people. Thinking differently or having different preferences doesn't make you bad or good. I'm going to be preaching that word over and over again in my blogs. I'll be preaching that word in the streets. I'm going to be going out to meet the group this morning. And Christina was actually in the belly of the beast. Christina from Indivisible King was. It was in the belly of the beast last night with the governor and asked questions. I have it on video, but I haven't processed it yet. I need to get it processed, and I'm gonna go
Oh
interview her
yeah, I
today.
saw that.
Frank, come on. Yeah, yeah, she did a great job. Frank, come on in line number 2.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You're on, Frank.
Okay, thank you very much. Alberto, Neil, first off, thank y'all for everything you do, and thank you for reminding me to pledge today. I'm going to do that as soon as I can on my lunch break this afternoon. I want to talk about a couple billboards I saw yesterday, and that really raised my blood pressure. I'm going to try to not raise my voice. So I'm a volunteer with the Harris County Democratic Party, and during 2024, the presidential election, when we knew that there was so much at stake, the creeping threat of fascism, that Trump very strongly insinuating he was going to wage a war against every non-white American citizen. We all know what was at stake, but they had us pretty exclusively knocking on single-family houses, on single-family doors, and putting in mailers. And maybe if you're lucky, 1 in 10 of those people will answer. I don't know how outdated the list would have been, but we never hit apartments. We never bothered to put billboards up. I don't remember in 2024 seeing a single Kamala Harris billboard within Houston city limits. And yet, now that it's down to the wire with this race, I see yesterday on my way home that Mike Doyle, the head of the chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, put up not one but 2 billboards telling us to vote for him after he managed a party where our turnout is the lowest it's been in, I want to say, 5 years. It's remarkable. It just tells me that this fight is not real to him, and it didn't get real to him until it was his money on the line. And guess what? On my way down south this morning on the way to work, I saw a third Mike Doyle billboard, and this time in Spanish. It's just it's a very, very loud selfishness to me, because I could not understand the entire year of 2024 why we weren't fighting harder. And he is,
Let me
and
can
this
I
is the one
interrupt a second?
where I think, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm talking
Yeah,
too
no,
much. Go
not a
ahead.
problem, Frank. No, 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 no. I understand what you're saying. Before I answer completely, I want to say when you place your donation at noon, please remember to select Politics Done Right when you're in the website, so people know that it's coming in from this program. Now that said, I want to, I want to, I don't want to sound like I'm defending anyone, because, like I said, I have to be neutral in all these different races. But I want folks to understand that the position is an unpaid position for chair of the Democratic Party. That has to be understood. Number two, I think what has to be understood as well is that I don't know that he put those signs up. It is likely people are fearful of the other person who is likely, not likely, who's running against him, that likely put those signs up, because that's probably where that came from. Now, thirdly, I am trying to make sure that there isn't, as we hear from LBW and LBW and Elkins say, we don't need intra-party fighting. So I try to remain neutral on these issues, because again, the stakes are too high for us to go there. So if I can placate you a bit, it would be to say I think those signs are probably paid for by other folks, and just like
What
there's a thing that really upset me about the Talarico ad that says the Republicans have been paying for Crockett. That's not Tallarico doing that, right? So we have to be careful with that.
I
That's
will
all I'm saying.
definitely
I don't
say
want to.
I don't know that it's being suggested. Excuse me, but it's not the party paying for those. I mean, if it's the suggestion, and it may well not be, but it's not the party paying for those
Right.
billboards. It's not the Harris County Democratic Party is not excuse me paying for those billboards, and with apartments. I don't know the specifics, but of your experience, but connecting to apartments is a long-standing battle. Gene Wu used to have a program just trying to get to apartments, and it is, and I can only imagine what it is like today with such immigration enforcement trying to get people open the door. But if anyone has the magic formula for reaching voters in apartments, go and monetize that because
Yeah,
that's a big
but
deal.
yeah, Frank brings up a very important issue. But Frank, stay with me a bit longer. But I want to ask those that to tell you that we only have that one donor right now, brothers and sisters. I would really need, first of all, Neil wants to end on a note where he's on a positive side. Well, I do it, and Sandy does as well. But honestly, if some of you could $5 a month, $10 a month, or a one-time contribution would do us excellent right now. We are not meeting our quota. We're trying to give you, in between asking you, we're trying to make sure to give you some valid information. I see that Frank has hung up, but I want to give homage to something that Frank said, and that is, I Texas really what well, I can't speak about entire Texas, but I can speak about Harris County, Houston. I think there was so much more, and I'm in touch with these leaders of the groups. There's so much more that could be done, and this is not just on the party side. This is on everybody had to go out there and stop saying, why does X, Y, why don't somebody else do something about it and just do it? When you see Miss Elkins out on a bridge, she took it on her own volition to do it. When you, Mr. Aquino, say the next action is what you do, that's what it's all about. That's the only way we are going to win this thing. We don't have corporate blessings to give money. The only way we are going to do it is anybody who, if you feel apartment complexes are not being addressed as you think they should, get a posse together, get some people. Maybe if you don't have some cash, throw up a GoFundMe. Come on my show and say, hey, I have a GoFundMe raising money to do something positive for society, and you will be on here. My thing is, let's do all of this progressively, together, and without animosity. Let's go to Tag real quick. Tag, I'm going to keep it short because we have to try to raise some money. You're on
Well,
Tag.
I'm with you there. You gotta pay this piper. The upcoming election, in my mind, is the gateway to either having or not having equal rights. And the Supreme Court has said that equal rights is out the window. We don't need to have that type of legislation anymore, those type of laws. And my thought has been, I've been thinking about this a lot. If the people at the Pettus Bridge would have had the right to go register to vote, they wouldn't have needed any of that. If the kids at Brown versus Education would have been able to go to the schools, they wouldn't have needed any of that type of Supreme Court rulings. And going forward, we need to have people in Congress running this country that allows for these type of things to happen, so that they doesn't end up in the Supreme Court. So that was kind of what I wanted to say today. We got to think about that going forward, what we're going to have. What do you think?
Thank you, Neil. I think you're absolutely right, Tag. I think you nailed it. The thing about it, though, is we're in such flux right now. We have to work at it. And again, I want to make sure that Frank gets that we get that, yeah, there's a whole lot that needs to get done, including right. So thank you for that. Tag, let's go to Ilan.
Yep, have a good day.
Ilan, thank you, brother. Ilan, quicker up for me. Talk to me.
Yes, here I am.
I,
Two quick points. Um, sort of to shame people into donating because I am a $10 a month sustainer, but I've been living entirely off of my Social Security, and that's only $690 a month. But Abbott and his cronies have taken out Part B of Medicare and reduced my money that I got to pay for rent, for my phone, my food, to $488 a month. And I'm still supporting the station. The other point I wanted to make is the media is continuing to perpetuate the duopoly. In other words, they're talking about the primaries as though it's the only game in town, when in fact there's about a third of the voters are fed up with both parties, or they're running as independents or whatever, and they never mention that there are any other political parties besides Democrats and Republicans. So as a Green Party member, I just wanted to make that point. The media is totally 100% ignoring us. Enough said.
Well, let me just say, Elon, the media is not ignoring you. The mainstream media is. You have our ear. By the way, thank you for your contribution is so big in the order of imagine what you're doing with your thing. So, folks, if our brother Ilan can contribute, can we ask you to do the same right now? $5 a month, $10 a month, 15 a month, 20 a month, a couple of coffees, and don't miss it. But for the work that we do to make sure our brothers and sisters are informed, I don't know how you can do any better. Thank you, Ilan. I need to go to Josie and then to back to Sandy because we're at the gun right now. Okay, brother. Let's go to Josie. Come on in, Josie.
Good morning. I just wanted to say to Frank that I feel the same way about those billboards. And should not Mike Doyle know what's going up? I know that it's difficult for them to keep an eye on everything, but those are huge. Like, they reach a lot of people, so you have to know what's on there. The other thing you mentioned, he had said, or on some of the flyers, there's something about Jasmine Crockett taking money or whatever. And if that's not correct, then what does that say about him? The other thing quickly is it sounded to me like you were saying to Frank, we don't have a right as listeners to call and give our own critique about who's running for an office, even if we're Democrats and they're Democrats. I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's what it sounded like. And number
Well, if
three,
that's
I've
how it
not been able to
sounded.
call.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hadn't
Go ahead,
called
ma'am.
earlier because I'm always listening and getting ready to go to work. So the other thing is, we have got to stop the U.S. from doing what it does to Cuba. We have got to stop.
Oh, wow. We're in
That's
the
all.
same line. Let me. No, don't go yet. Let me just say this. No, I was. If you notice, Frank, I didn't stop Frank from speaking because again, everybody has their point of view, and I want your point of view out there. Nope. And in fact, what I try to do is give the context as I saw it, and Neil, I think as well, gave the context as he said. No, at no time will we be trying to say you don't have the right to say what you have. This is what this program is all about. Just need you to know that factually. I may not agree with you, you may not agree with me, but you as sure as hell have the right to come on here and make your point. Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. Because also, when Jasmine Crockett announced she was running, it seemed like Mr. Aquino had said some negative things about her, and I thought, we don't. Why are we tearing each other down? But then I thought, the same thing you're saying. We may not agree, and that's okay. Listen, and then do your own research.
Absolutely. Look, thank you
Well,
very much for
let
your
me just
call, Josie. Yeah, go ahead,
let me
Neil.
say a couple of things very quickly. Mike Doyle, he's running a campaign. The money. If you don't like the billboards, then then don't vote for him. I mean, I get it, but he's running his own. He's a political candidate running a campaign. The money is not coming out of the Harris County Democratic Party. It's money he has raised like any other political candidate. I mean, so he's campaigning. I don't recall criticizing Jasmine Crockett here. I have tried to, as best as I can, speak as little as I can about the race because as we are seeing here, there is so much self-organizing to do. There's so much what we could be doing for ourselves, and these two candidates, I think, I say the same thing, who are raising millions of dollars. We won't see any of it, and one of them will be gone in 10 days, and our troubles remain.
Good point.
True.
Thank you,
Yes,
Josie. Thank you, and
totally
I want
agree.
you to know that you can
Yeah.
call in here
Great.
anytime with whatever
Yep.
opinion you have. Okay, my friend.
Got it. Thank you. Have a good day, both of you.
Thank you.
I enjoy the
You,
program every
you
morning,
too.
and I'm going to donate.
Perfect. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Josie. Appreciate you, Josie. Let's go to Sandy. Sandy, come on in, my brother.
Thank you, Egberto. We
By the way, I
remain
think we
about
have I think we have a
$425
delay.
from our goal. What kind
Well,
of
you know, we
delay?
just got another. We have a delay, but that's okay. We just got. Hey, check this out. We have somebody, Charleston, South Carolina, that just became a substainer. Thank you so kindly, Marnie. You're famous in our chat. Thank you very much
Great.
for that, folks. Now we are 350 away. Sandy, sorry for taking that out of your hands.
That's okay. There's always a delay when you don't want one. Folks, before someone made a comment that I was going on a bit long, I apologize for that. We were trying to resolve a problem in the studio and I was trying to cover what was going on. But if you don't like Fund Drive, you don't like the soliloquies about public radio and how we need the money to continue, I get it. I understand. I get a little annoyed when I'm trying to watch commercial television and we get 10 minutes of commercials between 5 minutes of content. I get it. You want to end the fund drive? You don't want this? Donate. End the fund drive. Get us to our goal, and we will go back to programming as soon as we do, and we will do it with a smile on our face and joy in our heart, and we'll do it quite happily. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Folks, we got a vintage T-shirt this time around. It's a $100 donation. It emanates from around 1984. It pictures the entire galaxy up there and a little arrow pointing to a spot, and then the arrow is marked with "You are here." That's right, we're here, we're listening, we're on planet Earth, and we have this resource, KPFT, with which to share our thoughts by. The reason for radio, the T-shirt goes on to explain, is Pacifica. If you're in agreement and like to wear that, it comes in cobalt blue or black, it's a $100 donation. 3 of you picking up that T-shirt will get us right near our goal. And then you can all meet over in the parking lot at your favorite superstore and go, wow, nice shirt, buddy. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. All right, we got 2 people, Egberto, $350 to go. Let's keep it rolling. Back
We
to
need
you.
350. Let me just thank you very much, Sandy. As Stadion says, and this is Ilan, you may be eligible for a $1,200 Medicare card, is what Stadion says. Check into it, Ilan. So, Elkins comment, she said, Egberto, tell people that a good way to support is that $10 a month. That $10 a month. And we have, brother, I love you, Michael. You know, you give me a hard time, but Michael just gave us another small contribution just to make. Michael, I'm going to have to find you and come and have a little coffee with you sometime because you confuse me sometimes. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Anyhow, we need to get, and now let's see, we need 325 more. Look, remember somebody suggested yesterday, coffee with Egberto by Zoom. I tell you what I'll do. Let's go ahead and do that. And the chat, folks in the chat, You add that up, and we have a Zoom together with that. Just
That's what I got.
tell me who you are, and we'll have a Zoom together. We can get a quick group that adds up to that 325. We'll do a Zoom together, however long you want. I like that kind of stuff. You know, I like that. Neil, anything you want? Oh, I got Bobby on the line. Bobby, real quick.
I just had a good morning. Just a quick question. Is there something on the ballot about implementing Sharia law? One of my Republican friends was like, "What is that doing on this ballot?" I think he had mentioned it. I don't know
I
if y'all
think
know anything about that.
may
I
be
just
on the
wanted to ask.
Republican side. Neil, what you know about that?
Well,
Yeah.
both parties have questions that are to their base softball questions, and I would not be surprised if there was a Republican um, thing about Sharia law. John Cornyn certainly seems to be running um, about Sharia law, so I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably a Republican prime, and then they'll say 93% of our voters oppose Sharia
It was.
law. So it's just a bunch of
Yeah,
hokum.
He was a Republican friend of mine that was like, "What is this
it was
doing
a
on here?"
Republican
Anyway, I
friend of
just wanted
yours.
to ask. Thank y'all. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
The parties put them
thank you very
on.
much, Bobby. Yeah, these are some. I
Have
mean,
a good day.
thank you, Bobby. We have serious things to discuss. Serious things that this country needs to be talking about. And we talk about silly things like whether we're going to implement Sharia law. It shows you that some politicians think so little about their constituencies, and their constituents allow them to think so small about them. Anyway, folks, propaganda, as Cheryl says. Laura, welcome aboard. Hey guys, we need another 325. Remember, those in the chat, if you get together and put in and call in and give whatever to add up to 325, you just go ahead and put Zoom. Tell them, still tell them it's for politics done right. Zoom, and again, we'll go ahead and make sure. I want to give a big thank you to Josie. Thank you so kindly, Josie, for your contribution. We are now 270. What is it, Sandy? 275 away now. Yeah, we're now 275 away. Let somebody can do it. Melissa, number one, come on in, Melissa.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. What's up, Houston? It's amazing how I'm in sync with the skies right now. The caller just asked about Sharia law. Sharia law is not something you want to do away with. It's about keeping integrity and keeping honesty and equality and everything into the law. They want to get rid of it, they want to get rid of Sharia law, not add it. So people have a big misconception about Sharia law. Sharia law is what law is what is what keeps the blindfold, on the statue lady, right? I also looked at my ticket, and I will then call you back at 3 o'clock and talk about it, because I know a lot of people don't look at their ticket. I am a Republican, and so I just wanted to. I'm gonna call you back at 3 o'clock and tell you about all those things, so that people that go to the ballot, since we don't have a way to look up our information before we go into the ballot, I don't want dummies to vote for a big dummy again. So I'm gonna call you back. But Sharia
Okay,
law is
thank you.
what you want to keep. You want to say yes to
I'll be
Sharia law.
listening.
Bye bye.
I'll be listening out for you, beautiful Melissa, at 3 o'clock. All right, folks, we are now, yes, as I said, 275 away. By the way, remember, there's still also Coffee with Egberto at 250. Coffee with Egberto at 250, and let's do it. So yeah, we're still short. We're almost at the end of the program. We have 6 more minutes left. But uh, the other topics that we wanted to talk about was Iran, folks. It is imperative that, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I will suggest that anybody who doesn't want us to waste our funds, our taxes on war, I would be throwing in, I repeat, I will be throwing a call to my representative to say, please do your Article 1 duty in the Constitution. Hey, Cheryl says, I'll throw $50 for a Zoom coffee conference. At 8, we'll try to get in. Yeah, when you click that button, please remember to put Politics Done Right as a program you support in, Cheryl, so that we can tie that all together. Neil, give me a quick minute before I go to a station break.
Early voting goes to the 27th of February. Early voting goes to the 27th of February. The primary is March 3rd, and it is a very long ballot. I did a lot of screening, helping the Houston Progressive Caucus screen. There's a lot of nominations there. I spent a lot of time on that process, and but don't be surprised when you get in there. There's 80, 90 races, something. Most of them judicial, and there are substantial differences between some of them.
No, I have that list at politicsdoneright.com/voter guide. Politicsdoneright.com/voter guide. Let me throw it to Sandy before we kind of close this down. But folks, we need you to call 713-526-5738, extension 1. Please give whatever you can. We're $275 short. Please give now as Sandy speaks.
Thank you, Egberto, and thanks to the listening audience on this show that has been so kind every morning. We are made our goal pretty much every morning. However, this morning we're $275 short. One of you picking us up on the $1 a day pledge, a $365 donation to KPFT, and in return receiving a pair of passes for the Crawfish Boil and a pair of passes for the Blues Cruise with Nuri would get us to our goal. Or 3 or 4 of you picking up a t-shirt, but we need the audience to participate. Don't sit idle. It's amazing how many people take this station for granted, even though it's been here for this long. Ilan, thank you for your contribution. It's just a remarkable thing what you are doing singularly. And I appreciate that, along with the other 495 people that have already donated. Thank you so much for those kind acts. We're asking you that have not yet donated this drive, maybe never donated to KPFT, to take that step. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. In the waning moments of go, we still have time to cross the finish line here. We're $275 away. Make it happen. Egberto, take it.
Thank you so kindly. Thank you so kindly. Jack, anything that you want to add, or Howard, anything you want to add before I give my ending soliloquy?
I was just thinking about the scare tactic of Sharia law. This is nonsense. No one is wanting to implement Sharia law in Texas, but yet the politicians are going, "Oh well, we're all against Sharia law." Well, you're not even going to implement it, so why are you doing this? It's a scare tactic. Don't listen. Go ahead, Jack.
Well, listeners, it only takes 12,000 sustainers at $5 a month to sustain this radio station. That's $2,000 a day. That's $14,000 a week. That's what it takes, to make this station work. So sustainers are the most important thing that we can do for KPFT.
And our math wizard, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Jack. Neil, give me a closer before I finish up here, buddy.
I'm at HoustonDemocracyProject.com, HoustonDemocracyProject.com. The next action is when you organize it. The First Amendment's your permit. And please contribute. If you don't contribute during the confines of the show today, you can contribute throughout the day. Please indicate that it's politics done right that you are contributing to for today.
Yeah, thank you so kindly, Neil. And I just have to thank you for coming out here every Thursday, and thank you for what you are doing throughout Harris County. And let me tell you that the work that you do is not only reflected in Texas, it's reflected all over. You were recently on. I want to give, Cheryl. Oh, beautiful. Cheryl, thank you so kindly, my dear, beautiful sister in the chat. She's finished it up for us, Neil. We did it.
Great.
Look, folks, the rest of the program you can find at the Zoom for everybody. So we are going to arrange that. So, Cheryl, I put that in your hands, sis. Need your help. I put that in your hands. All right, folks, look, here's the deal. The rest of the programs, politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. email me directly at kpft@politicsdoneright.com. Love you all, and I mean all of you. All of you. That's what it's going to take. We're going to work together to bring this country back. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.
We now join Democracy Now! In progress on KPFT Houston.
Of Les Wexner.
Meanwhile, a panel of independent experts appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council is calling for an independent and impartial investigation into alleged sex crimes contained in the Epstein files. The UN panel says, quote, so grave is the scale, nature, systematic character.
Okay, Jack's going to take over, Sandy.
Of these atrocities against women and girls that a number of them may reasonably meet the legal threshold of crimes against humanity, unquote. The Trump administration is planning to build a 5,000-person military base in Gaza, sprawling more than 300